Now we do a half a cup of salmonella. Hey, good morning. It's a bright and, no, it's not, sort of a halfway bright and shiny day. And we're going to make some pizza dough and a loaf of bread. What am I coming in here for? I don't know. Oh, I was going to turn on the light so we can see what we're doing. I've had a yen for my bread. It isn't like I don't have bread, but I don't have this bread. And I want it because it's spectacularly delicious and has... You ignoring me? And has great texture. This bread, I discovered the recipe for it many years ago. Never made bread in my life before. I still don't make bread very often. And when I do, it's this recipe, because I'm not an expert in bread making by any means. And this has become my bread rolling and kneading and making spot. It just became this place because who knows why. It's got a nice window here. I like the light. Okay, this bread recipe was a pizza dough recipe to start out, and I had been looking for a yeast pizza dough. There's nothing better than a yeast, there we are, a yeast crust. I don't need this in here. Why do I have this in here? My recipe box is not made for aerial pictures of popple trees. You begin with 1.5 cups very warm water. And she says, well, most recipes will tell you to use lukewarm water when making yeast dough. I find that by the time you take hot water, put it into a measuring cup, and then into a food processor, which I'm not going to do because I don't have a big enough food processor. It has cooled significantly. I always use water that is almost too hot to the touch, and have always had great luck with this dough. It calls for, oh, I bought some bread flour. If I'm not going to use it, why did I buy it? But I'm not going to use it for this time. Yeast, sugar, get those in a little bowl with the hot water and watch it begin to activate a little bit. You get some foamy on top, and then you pour it into 16 ounces or about 2 3/4 cups bread flour. Well, there it is, bread flour. And the secret ingredient is no longer a secret if I tell you here, but it is salmonella. You can tell your friends the secret ingredient is salmonella. Actuality, it's semolina flour, which I'm not sure why it's in here, other than I love the texture of this bread and the texture of the pizza dough. So that's what we're going to make today. We'll let it rise for an hour or so with the oven on low. Just leave it on the countertop somewhere near the stove. Semolina flour is not too easy to find. This has lasted me for years. This is the only bag I've ever bought, so it's probably 5, 6 years old. It's a rainy, windy day. Oh, I better get the yeast going first. Rainy day, rainy day. Two teaspoons of sugar. And I haven't figured out a very slick way of preventing the yeast from clumping initially. Oh, come on. And I've found that a little whisk does the best job. Fortunately, sugar doesn't clump. Well, this works pretty well. Good. I'm pleased. Why did I buy bread flour if I'm not going to use it? Huh? Nearly empty canister. So 2 3/4 cups. And I have not converted to weighing my ingredients. I know that's the modern way, but I have had adequate luck doing it the old-fashioned way. This is not the most efficient way to do flour measuring, but I don't want to have to try and fill the canister quite yet. Now we do a half a cup of salmonella. That's fine. How are we doing with the... And we can go ahead and whisk the flour and semolina together. I like to make a little divot. And I'm going to use my favorite tool, the Foley fork, for this also. And at first you'll think, oh, there's not enough liquid. And suddenly that'll turn to, oh, there's too much liquid. And then everything will be okay. Come on now. Soak up all that flour and salmonella. All right, that is just fine. Get your hands floured. Sounds like there's a snow plow out there on the highway. Come on. I know it's not, obviously, but even a piece of machinery that sounds vaguely like winter is not welcome by most of us, unless you're a snowmobiler, which in that case... I don't usually do very much kneading. Maybe I should. In my ignorance, I don't really know what the point of kneading is other than to get all the ingredients, or the flour, the semolina. That's beautiful. I've got just the right amount of everything. Then, a little scooch of whatever oil. A lot of purists like to say olive oil, which I have, but it's about 5 years old and I never use it because it's old. And I want to buy more because I rarely use it and it'll go bad. This feels really good. I don't remember having the impression of this dough is feeling really good. I don't know what to expect, but it's punching back. I don't know if that's a good sign or bad sign. But now, set it on. No, I'm not going to set it there. Set it beside, and then cover it with a dish towel. And then we're good for an hour. Oh yeah. That has raised well. So it's time. I have pre-floured. So grab the dough. And twist it about in half. Give your rolling pin a bit of flour. Start rolling out. Into a pizza shape. As always, somebody doesn't want to play along. But I like in your regular shape. It makes it more homemade-ish. And I have never once gotten it round to about like that. There we are. And bring it over. And turn the oven up to 500. Or as high as you can get it. They want you to bake it at, what, 575, 600? That's the usual baking temperature for brick oven pizza, which I don't have a brick oven. I've got a regular old GE cheap stove. And it makes me very happy, so I'm not complaining a bit about. This was we bought a bunch of appliances from the local scratch and dent dealer who was having a big August sale in the Armory. What a shyster. We bought a freezer, we bought the range, we bought an over-the-hood or over-the-range microwave hood, washer and dryer, all of them dented, but all very functional. So the stove we bought, the handle was broken on the front. This thing. But it had blue masking tape attached to it. Handle on order. Had everything delivered 3 or 4 days later. We asked if the handle was here yet. No, it wasn't, but that was a little soon to expect that a handle would... Boy, that was a nice opener. Oftentimes these opening schemes are a joke, and they know it. So anyway, they dropped off the appliances. We didn't need the stove yet because we didn't even have the propane tank here. A few weeks later, I called, said I'm just checking on the handle for the stove we bought, see if it's in yet. Oh, let me check. She came back in 2-3 minutes. No, it's not here yet. I wasn't surprised. She said, we'll let you know when it gets here. Never heard another word from him. That is the ultimate in awful customer service. We would never go back there. Of course, they got $1,500 out of Chuck. I went ahead and I found the handle online, ordered it. I don't remember what it was. It was $40, something like that. Installed it. Just decided we were never ever going to get near that place again. Anyway, guess I don't need to tell you what I'm doing because it's pretty self-evident. Beautiful. You're probably wondering about the bread I'm going to make. That's coming up next. This cheese is thick cut for meltability. I'm having a disconnect here. What does the thickness of the cheese have to do with how it melts? I'm just expressing all sorts of negativity today, aren't I? A 2-cup container of this cheese is about perfect. Well, it's not about perfect, it is perfect. Then, get out the shaker of crushed red pepper. Shake to suit. As far as I'm concerned, you can't have too much heat. This thing is too full. Well, I think that should do it. And in 15 minutes, I don't remember how long I baked this. Oh, I wrote it down. 475 for 12.5 minutes. But the oven isn't ready yet, so let's move on to the bread. Actually, I like glass. Doesn't really matter. Get a nice, modest coating. Now, let me do this over here. Cover it. Let it raise for, I don't know, until you feel like it's good. And that can rest. I'll let you know when the pizza goes in. Pizza has just gone in. And there we have it. Beautiful. So tender. A pizza is not right if you don't drink Dr. Pepper with it. I've learned this in high school, so it must be true. That's it for this time. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. See you next time.